Always, everyone, anytime you buy a piece of real estate, get title insurance 100% of the time. Anytime you're buying a piece of property that is not a traditional subdivision lot, meaning it's very, very predictable, always get a survey. So if I bought 3 acres that turned out to be 1.75. You get a survey on it. Okay, now you got a standard subdivision lot that is pre-platted and has changed hands 3 or 4 times. You don't have to worry about that. It is what it is. But if you're buying something otherwise, get a survey, get title insurance, get a home inspection. Get a home inspection. You're 20 years old. You're not an expert on much of anything in that house. Get a home inspection, period. I've bought and sold several thousand pieces of real estate. I get a home inspection. Mm-hmm. Last house I bought, I got one. Okay, for what it costs, let somebody else do it, right? That's the thing. Don't buy a house that is a great price but is ugly from the street. There's no fixing ugly. It's not a good buy, because if you get a good buy on it now, when you get ready to sell it, you know what you have? An ugly house. And you're going to give somebody else a good deal because nobody wants an ugly house. So there's a reason it was cheap when you bought it, and there'll be a reason it's cheap when you sell it. And try to buy something that's a little bit boring. Don't try to reinvent the word. I'm going to do a rehab. Oh, God, no. You can put the gutters up. That's fine. But don't tell me you got to change the whole. No, I got to tear out. Yeah. I got to add. No. Just boring means less risk going in and less risk going out. And so a nice little house with a little picket fence and little bushes out front, and you look at it from the street and everybody goes, "Oh, that's cute." That's where you want to start. And when you get ready to buy a house these days, it's a complicated process. It was complicated way back then, but it's really complicated now. And there's all this bad information, because everything on the internet's not true, right? I mean, because Zillow says it's worth something doesn't mean it's worth that. The tax assessor, well, the tax value, who cares? Tax value has absolutely nothing to do with market value. It's supposed to, but it doesn't. You can't use that as your gauge. So you have to learn. This is the most expensive thing most people ever buy a house. And, it's an emotional process. You get excited. If you ever get the fever, you get house fever. When you get house fever, you get stupid. You're willing to pay too much. You're excited. You've got to focus. And you're willing to buy a house when you're not supposed to buy a house. You're not ready to buy a house. You're going to sell a house the wrong way. Oh, man, you can get in a real mess. This is not DIY, okay? This is a $200,000, $300,000, $150,000 transaction. You don't work on your car, and that's a $1,000 transaction. And yet you somehow think you're just going to waddle up and not get in a bad deal buying a house or selling a house. You make a mistake selling a $200,000 house. I mean, if you make a 1% mistake, it's $2,000. Count out 10, 20, $100 Uncle Benjamin Franklin's right in front of you on the table right now in your mind. That's 1%. And if you're a novice, if you've bought and sold 10 houses, you're a novice. You are likely to make a 1% mistake at a minimum. So you put a pro in your corner. It's that simple. You don't do this without a pro. Now, everybody's got a real estate license is not a pro yet. You got a license, but just because the state certified you doesn't mean anything. Listen, you want someone that's a pro. You want someone, if you're buying a house or selling a house, that's doing 50 to 300 transactions a year. If they've not done 50 transactions in their entire freaking life, no. Well, I'm going to sell it myself. That's stupid. You're not going to make any money on that. Again, if you make a 2% error, all of a sudden you didn't save anything. Well, I'm saving a 6% commission. No, you're not, because likely the person buying it is going to bring their agent up, and you're going to pay that agent 3%. Now you're only saving 3%, but you've been on the market twice as long, and you undersold the property, and you didn't know what you were signing up for with the home inspection, and what you tied yourself into to do repairs that you didn't intend to do. Oh, and you miscalculated the closing costs. you ate up any possible savings because you don't know what the flip you're doing. So, you get a pro.